Hey guys, this is Chris, but my friends call me Stones. Thanks for checking out my channel, and thanks for checking out my latest video. If you watched my last video, and if you didn't, go back and watch it. But if you watched it, I mentioned at the very end of the video that I had a recycling event on Saturday, so I wouldn't be able to go yard sales or garage sales on Saturday, even though I ended up going to a few anyways. And so I had that recycling event, and I wanted to show you everything that I got from that recycling event to resell to make a profit. Now, if you haven't watched any of my past videos where I talked about these electronic recycling events, my friend from my gym owns a local electronics recycling company. So they specialize in anything that requires to be plugged into the wall or takes batteries to operate. And he'll recycle anything that falls into that category. And what he does is he holds these recycling events through the warmer months of the year, and he'll come in for 4 hours, either for a township or a city or a special event or a company or a business, and people can come during that time and drop off their electronics that they no longer want or need, and there's no charge for any of it. And we basically set up in a big parking lot, kind of like an assembly line where people just drop off their stuff. And then I've been doing this, I've been helping out my friend now for just over a year. I started doing it after I lost my job last year with the insurance company that I worked with. And I don't actually work for him. He doesn't have me on his payroll or anything like that. And he doesn't pay me. What he does is instead is he allows me to take anything that I find that I feel like I can sell on eBay for a profit, and that's my payback. And I'll go in and I'll work. It's a 4-hour event, so maybe I'll work 5 hours because I show up a little early and I leave a little late. And I come home with anywhere from $500 to $1,000 worth of stuff easily every time. And it's all good stuff. You'd be surprised at what people drop off at these events just because they don't want it anymore, just because they have the latest one or whatever. And even some of the stuff, even if it doesn't work anymore, people still are interested in those items, either as collectors or repair people who have the ability to fix things. There's a lot of value in certain things just for parts or repair. So anyways, I went this Saturday from 10 to 2 and worked about 5 hours and easily made $100 to $200 an hour in stuff. And this is what I got. So first of all, I've had these in my videos before, and these are the printer heads for the HP Office Jet Pro series. I've talked about these before. These come right out of the printer. There's a little lever. You flip the lever, and these pop right out. And they're worth $100. I include the ink. And I find at least one of these every time I do a recycling event. Sometimes I find up to 3. And my success rate on these is about 75%. So 1 out of every 4 that I sell ends up not working because I don't test these. I don't bring the printer home with me to test them. No, I did in the past, like the first couple that I found at yard sales and garage sales, but now I don't buy them anymore. I get them for free at these recycling events, and because they're free, I can take that risk of them possibly not working. Because at the very least, if one doesn't work, I have to refund them their money, and all it cost me was about $5 or $6 in shipping. If it does work, I make $100. So 3 out of 4 working is a good success rate in my opinion, and I'll continue to do that. So picked up some little knickknacks here and there. Some batteries. Why someone was throwing away some perfectly good batteries, I don't know. Batteries are expensive, and I've mentioned before in past videos, I will include batteries with items kind of as an extra incentive to try to sell those items quicker and for a higher price, and it tends to work. At the very least, I'll use these batteries to test items that require this size of batteries. So got those for free, and then picked up these blank video cassette tapes, and this is 3 of them. Now these are high bias tapes, and Lonnie over at Shed Flips or Garage Flips, whatever his channel is called, he just recently did a video about these. And he talked about high bias tapes. Now these are more on the low end, but some of the ones on the higher end, huge demand for them. Even one there's some out there Even in used condition, one tape could go for $50. One cassette tape. If you have it in brand new condition, it could sell for as much as $125 to $150. Now these are on the low end. These aren't anything crazy like that. But if you get enough of them, you can lot them up and get some money out of them. Picked up some old film cameras. These things aren't worth a ton, but again, they're free. This Olympus is worth about $50, and this Canon's worth about $75. Grab some ink. We see a lot of ink, unopened ink, come in with the printers that are dropped off. Technically, they're not part of the recycling, but we accept them anyways. Now, I only do well with big box ink, which is what I call big box ink. They come in they're for like the commercial grade printers and copiers and stuff like that. I don't do well with these small box inks anymore. I used to. I don't anymore, but Epson still sells well for me, so I'll grab those up, and because it's free, I can make $20 on that box of ink. Old school mouse, wired mouse. These ones with the ball in the mouse, those work. Those sell really well. I can probably get $20, $25. I've had one of those before, and they do really well. I've talked about these before. Matter of fact, in the last recycling video, I had one of these. This is a digital converter for cable. Cable systems are basically for your TV. If you still have an old analog TV that can't receive digital signals, this box will convert that for you. A lot of cable providers were providing these for free to their customers at first, until they could get a digital TV. So a lot of people got these for free, never used them, and then we see a lot of them donated. The last one I got sold really quick. These sell really quick, depending on the brand. This one sells for about $25 to $30, so it'll probably sell pretty quick. This is an interesting item that I saw. It caught my eye because it looked different. This actually goes with a video camera. It's called the Kodak MVS Modular Video System. And what it is, it's an old school VHS camera that has all these different parts that go with it, so you can do different things. I skipped on the camera. I didn't take it home because, one, it wasn't worth a whole lot, and two, it didn't look like it was in the best condition. But this little keyboard, this is for editing inside of the video camera itself. This keyboard goes for about $30, $35. Got a bunch of Apple products, iPods. I grab them whenever I see them. There's an Apple Watch as well. This is an empty case, but I'll put that with an actual iPod Nano. If you don't know already, a lot of they discontinued making iPods, so there's an increasing demand for them. This was something that I grabbed early, so I kind of go through this. At this recycling events, I start getting scared that I'm not going to find anything. So I start grabbing things that I don't have a whole lot of knowledge about, and things that look interesting, just hoping that I struck it with something that might have value, just so that I don't go home with nothing, because again, I'm not getting paid. So someone donated all these Garmin watches, and I've never dealt with them before. I've never sold one before. So I grabbed them, and then I was pleasantly surprised when I looked them up how much they're worth. They go anywhere from $50 to as much as $500 in used condition, depending on which one you have. And I really doubt that these are all not working. Like, this looks like a person who just went through a phase and had to have every Garmin watch that was out there. And then they got tired of one, bought another one. Got tired of that, bought another one. So if these things work, I don't know, a couple $100 there at least, if not more. I got one charger. I don't know if it works for all of them, but I'd like to test it out and make sure. Speaking of smartwatches, I also got this Pebble. And this one is pretty clean. Like, I don't even think they used it. Like, who would leave a watch in the box if they've already used it? I don't know. But if it works, it's worth about $75. Then this remote really caught my eye. I think I've seen these before. I've never sold one before. But I was really pleasantly surprised about what this is worth. I've dealt with remotes in the past. I bought a big bin of them years ago when I first started doing this. I kind of skip on them now just because it's just not worth the effort for me. But this remote, it's a Samsung Smart Hub voice activated remote or something like that. The last one was sold on eBay for $115 in free shipping. So it's worth about $100. I was really surprised about that. I think I knew that in the back of my head when I saw it, but I wasn't 100% sure. Then we go on to all the gaming supplies. Sometimes I see a lot of gaming stuff. Sometimes I don't see any at all. And again, it's one of those situations where they just get tired of it, you know. It still works, you know, but they just get tired of playing the same old games. Maybe they got the PS4 or they got the PS5, and they just get rid of it, the old stuff. So here's a PS3 Slim. No cables, no controllers. That came in at the very last minute, so I was glad that I was the one that got it. Some accessories, couple of controllers, one for the Xbox 360, one for GameCube, some cables, always could use cables, and then off to our big items. This is an Onkoyo receiver. I think that's how it's pronounced. Big name brand, high-end equipment that they make. This one looks pretty clean. I don't see why it wouldn't work, but it comes with a manual, the remote control, and then this thing, which is really interesting. I didn't know until right before I recorded this video. This is an external microphone meant for this receiver, that what you do is you plug it in once you have your stereo system set up, and this microphone tests the acoustics of the room and then sets the receiver to be balanced for your room, for the acoustics of your room. So that microphone alone is worth $30, $35. So I was really surprised. And then lastly, soundboard, music soundboard. This is a Studio Live ProSonus. I am very familiar with soundboards. I was a sound engineer for a long time. I worked on the road with bands. I was a stage manager. I worked at music festivals, business manager for bands. So I have a huge history in music. So I knew this was worth money. Music equipment is very expensive and it has a lot of value. Now, whether this works, I plugged it in, it lights up. Now to test this thing would take extensive work. I mean, testing every channel, testing every frequency, testing every part of this would be just very difficult to do. So this is what I do. This is my little secret. I'm going to sell it as if it's working. I assume it is. It looks clean. There's not much that could go wrong with this. Now this is a hybrid. This is a hybrid between a solid state and a digital, or analog and digital. And so there could be something in there that's not working right. But I'm going to sell it and assume that it's working. And if the customer comes back and says, hey, there's something wrong with this, I can make enough money on this to say, okay, send it back anyways. And then I'm going to resell it as is for parts only. So this is one of those examples where there's still value and money in something that doesn't work. If this thing works, the last one sold on eBay for about $500. Every other one was put into auction. You should never do that. So I'm going to list this for $500. If it doesn't work, all it's going to cost me is the shipping to get it back, and it's still worth $300 or so for parts. So, or somebody that can repair it. So there you go. There's my recycling event for this weekend. I don't know. I haven't estimated. I mean, again, 500s, 200 there. There's 700, a couple hundred. I mean, over $1,000 worth of stuff, all in 5 hours. So I think it's worth it. What do you guys think?